Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today we're going to unbox my first ever order from the Jazwares vault. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I have my first ever order from the Jazwares vault, and when they first started coming up with things, when I was looking at the Ring of Honor figures, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up anything. Ringside Collectibles has them, and even though they say 1 in 3,000 on the package, I don't know, maybe they're just not moving well at all, but I mean, Ringside has them. They're all still available on the Ringside or on the Jazwares Vault website. So I feel like we're going to be able to get a lot of these at clearance price. I did go ahead and make an order because I was kind of looking through, like I said, there's some stuff I had a little bit of interest in, and I decided to pull the trigger. So I've got two different things here. We're going to go ahead and get this one out of the package first. Okay, so I'm working on getting everything out of the box here, and these Jazwares figures are like Russian nesting dolls. These are ridiculous. So, first box here, we have it is the Bryan Danielson Ring of Honor figure, and I didn't have this, I think the Elite they made of him, I don't know if it was just the plain, like maroon attire, but I didn't pick up, oh, actually it was. They gave us it was one of the Toys R Us exclusives maybe, or Walmart exclusive, and I wasn't able to pick that up. I never saw it in stores, and I thought this was a great opportunity to pick it up again and get the robe and everything. So this is the box it comes in the normal Ring of Honor, just the cardboard box here, which Jazwares, I have a lot of small issues with them, but if they do anything well, it is their boxing. I think it looks awesome. So inside of the cardboard box is the next box. Like I said, it's like a Russian nesting doll that just has like a smaller one every time you take the top off. So this one is one of 5,000, okay? I was thinking 3,000. I don't know, maybe some of the other ones are. But then this one is a slip cover that finally reveals the Danielson in there. And then on the box, it just had, I've seen this picture like 4 times now. But again, like I said, it looks good. I'm not a mint on card guy, but I do think Jazwares, especially with like their Ringside Collectibles, they do an awesome job. So I'm not going to complain about Jazwares in that department. But there's the Bryan Danielson. I do want to get him out. I'm not going to do like a full review. I really just kind of want to look through the accessories, like just briefly kind of see everything in here, give a couple thoughts, but let's get Bryan Danielson out here. All right, there he is out of the box, and the first thing I wanted to note was the Ring of Honor microphone. I think it's so cool. It's Jazwares, I don't understand them. Sometimes they'll like dig really deep and give us a Ring of Honor microphone, or they'll give us something like an odd accessory, like with the Brody Lee. We got like his stack of papers that he rolled up or something like that. But then they'll leave off like wrist tape or an elbow pad or like basic things. And it's just, I can't decide whether I feel like Jazwares goes all out making figures or whether they just don't care. It just, you never know what you're going to get, which is kind of one of the things that it disappoints me with Jazwares. Is I feel like a lot of the things they have a ton of potential, and then they just kind of leave some things to the side. Next thing I'm going to note is the red staining that I assume is just from having his hood on in the package. There's red marks on both sides, and this is it's probably not billion, but $1 million company. I guess I don't remember what umbrella Jazwares is under. It doesn't matter. They have plenty of money. You think that they'd be able to find some way to not have our figures get stained. It's so frustrating. It's one thing when like paint apps are messed up and you can fix that. If it stains, it's like, that's it. I have never really seen anyone talk about a good way to get stains off. So you can see mine is stained on both sides. It's frustrating. This head, so obviously this head doesn't have any staining. I don't really think this looks like Bryan Danielson at all. I don't know. I don't really see it there. I like this look for him, for this figure. Outside of the staining, the robe, I'm trying to get the robe off here. The robe looks very nice. Like the material feels nice. It says American Dragon on the sleeves there. It's just, they do a really good job. I like the Jazwares cloth goods that we get. I really like them. But they stain everything, so you can't keep them on the figure. And then if you can't keep them on the figure, what is, like, there's no point. Okay. Anyway. So this is almost identical, just the tire-wise and everything. It's just the plain maroon to that Mattel one that we got. Obviously, proportionally, it's way different. He does have, like, kick pad rotation and everything. I don't like this torso. Everyone swaps it for the MJF torso, which I do. I grabbed my other Bryan Danielson, the Target exclusive one, and swapped that. Which, again, so another thing, and I said I wasn't going to do a full review. So just the last couple thoughts. With the Bryan Danielsons, I like with smaller guys, they still give them like larger proportions, because I felt like they made him too skinny, his Mattel versions, but his torso is so huge up top, and that's not, it's not accurate. Like, he is bigger than what Mattel did, but he's not gigantic, and I don't know. Someone needs to come along and give me a happy medium. I like the detail with the little Asics logo right there, which I think they get around because it's not technically the Asics logo since it's covered up with the paint there. But a cool figure. I'm happy. I'm happy I picked it up. The hands that he comes with, he's got some fisted hands as well as these open ones here. But on to the next package. Next up this is what I made the order for originally. I looked at it, I thought price-wise it was decent, and as far as like accessories, really the championship belts we were getting, I figured what the heck, it's not a bad price whatsoever. So I went ahead and I ordered the Death Triangle 3-pack, and what sparked me to look at it was that I was looking at the belts on Chaos Wrestling Club's store, and I was looking at some different options, and I was looking at the AEW belts because I know we don't have all of them in figure form yet, and I was trying to figure out which ones I could potentially grab, and now I don't remember what I grabbed, but I didn't realize that I don't know what I was thinking, that the trios belts, and is it the Continental, we'll have to look in a second, but we get 4 new belts with this set. So we've got 4 new belts. We've got, I'll stop talking. Let's check it out. All right, so that box had a slip cover as well. There it was. It just came right off, the one that you can see. On the back, it did have just a picture of all of them with all of their championships. And I haven't bought, I think these are the first Penta and Phoenix figures that I've bought since the first ones they have. I thought those were the best. The Supremes, I don't know what's going on with the Rey Fenix. I don't see him anywhere. But the Pentas, I think they're all good, but I don't think they're all necessary to grab for my collection necessarily. So I think the first one they gave us was still the best. So I'm excited to get this out, take a look at everything, take a look at the belts. I always love getting new belts. And the Pac figure, I really liked the head sculpt that I was looking at, when I saw it online. So gonna get them all out of their packaging. Again, they nailed it on the head. Jazwares did a fantastic job making these guys. This is such a cool, you can put them together and they're in a triangle this way, and when you do that, you get all their separate photos. Their Jazwares is so imaginative with their stuff. I love it. So let's get them all out, take a look. All right, so Penta out here first, and I'm pretty sure, so I've got my other Penta I was going to compare at the end here. It has a different skin tone. Let's just get them out. We'll look at the differences. Like I said, not gonna go through articulation. Everything is basically, from what I see, the same kind of same Penta we've been getting, just repainted. So there's a lot of small differences here. So this one is the first one that we got. I think it's a fantastic figure. I was very excited. This is probably the figure I wanted the most when they announced the line, was the Penta. I always wanted a Penta figure, and he's just got so much going on with his attires that he wasn't accustomed that I really thought I could execute to the level I'd want. So I was always glad we got him, but you can see different skin tones. This one is lighter. This is all molded on both sides. So we've just got a silver over here, mostly instead of the white, and this kind of like a net look. It does have like a shimmer on it, which looks really cool. Like, there's more going on with this one. This one also has the Cero Miedo hand. This, I don't know why we get one glove. And Jazwares is like my 3-year-old. He will do random impulsive things, and I'll ask him why he did it, and he'll just look at me and go, huh? And I feel like that's how Jazwares, when if someone asks them why they put these hands in a package, they'll just look at you and go, huh? Like, it doesn't seem like there's rhyme or reason or like logic to what they choose to throw in a package. So we got this hand in tape. We got this hand with the glove on, which maybe I am completely wrong, but in my head, I'd think he needs a hand, 2 gloved hands. So then we've got a fisted hand with the tape on it, and then we've got tape on this one. So we've got an open tape hand, a closed fist taped hand, a gloved hand, and his signature hand, which is in tape. So maybe he only wore that one glove for the entrance, and I'm just wrong, but all his other figures, okay, I take that back. This one has 2 gloves, and that's just what I think of with him. I know he takes them off sometimes, so maybe that's just what they were going for, but I think it's weird, and they do stuff like this all the time. So it looks good. I think it looks rad. I'm glad I picked it up. Just put him back here, get his stablemates out, but there's the trios oh, am I upside down? Yeah. The belts look great. I've always been pretty happy with their belts. Sometimes they make them a little big, but I'd prefer that over small, and I'm used to Jax, and Jax used to make their belts honking, so let's get someone else out here next. Okay, so here's the original Rey Fenix. Here is the one that we got in this set, which attire-wise, I do like more. I think this white looks fantastic. Come on. Okay. One moment while we try to get these feet to move. And in a vacuum, okay, that looks kind of wonky, but he's standing up, so whatever. In a vacuum, just looking at him, I think it's a cool looking figure. I think like the formula works for him. I don't think they make him too big. I think the torso choice is fine. I think the mask sculpt and everything looks good. I don't know if it's supposed to like look that much different than this one. There's nothing on the back, so maybe it is just like a different style of mask for him, but it feels like squished down. But it doesn't, I don't think it necessarily looks bad. It just looks different. But the skin tone. So this one, I know early on they had issues with it, but I don't think it was really a Series 2 thing where it looks kind of like washed out. It's just like there's not as much, it's just not as colorful. Like the color's just not as much there with this one. But then it was opposite for Penta, where the Penta, the first one is like this shade. And then this one matches more over here. And it's just like, I don't get why. I don't know why Jazwares is so inconsistent with their skin tones. I know, or I'm pretty sure they were switching, like who did their figures, like who's actually making, like they were switching factories. I don't know if that's true or if it happened already, but maybe that's it. But it frustrates me so much because Jazwares has so much potential with the way there you can swap bodies and easily swap torsos and tires and everything, like head sculpts and hands, and there's just so much inconsistency between them. It's frustrating because like they have it all right there. It's just like it's in their lap and they just can't nail it. Here's another one of Ray Phoenix's signature hands. Here's an open hand for this side. Here's another thing. Just we've got tape on this hand, no tape on this one. Like they could have just put white tape. I don't know. Small things. We got one more to check out. All right, last one we're gonna take a look at is the Pac figure, and I really like Jazwares Pac or Neville figures. He was like the prime example for me of a guy who they just made way too small, way too skinny. He's ripped, like his legs are huge, his torso's big, and Mattel, with how limited their parts were, they just made him way too skinny. So I do really like I'll definitely give Jazwares their props there. With him, he's got open hands as well as fisted hands. We don't need anything special for him. That works. I think the first figure we got of him did not have boot rotation, whereas these do, which is fantastic. His hair's a little bit different than other ways they'd executed it. So figure-wise, it's the same exact thing. Same torso, which is, I think this is the same torso as MJF, which he should not have a larger torso than Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, excuse me. He's got the gray and dark gray, which I think we've gotten like black with red, and then we got, I think his first one was black with some gray on it. So I don't need a lot, so I'm glad that we got the like a new head sculpt for him. This one is kind of like a mid-match. I feel like it's kind of like a mid-move kind of look with the hair down here. I think it's pretty good. Like I think the likeness is fine. I don't think it's the best they've done, but far from the worst that they've done. I did grab another one, so I picked this figure up at Target, and it was apparently on sale for $13.99 when I grabbed it. But this one, I liked the sculpts, but they didn't give us a neutral sculpt. Well, there he goes. The neutral sculpt that we got had the eye patch on it, which it is all right, but I wish we would have gotten this on like the yelling sculpt. Nonetheless, I think this one looks good. Skin tone, like his skin tone's been the same. So I won't delve too much into that one. But there's the sculpt close up. Oh, it's different. It works though. As many as we get, and with him actually having a consistent skin tone, I can just swap those heads. But then lastly, I'll just take a little closer look at all the belts. So all the trios championships, obviously, they're all the same. I think they look very good. I don't know who I'll put them on. Maybe I'll put them on my House of Black figures. They've got the gold rivets in there. I think that's what they're called. I think I'm using that correctly. I think those look good. And then, is this the International Championship? Which, the International is what it was. And then did they change it to Continental? I don't know. Their belts, I don't know. I don't know. The lineage has messed me up so far. I don't know what Eddie Kingston won the Continental. And then, did they change the title? I don't know. I thought I knew what I was talking about, but I don't actually. Looking in here, I think it looks very good. It's kind of hard to tell since it's so shiny, but you can see they've got like the different flags in there. And again, I'm always a sucker for new belts, never going to complain. And I think they look great, so there it is. That's my Jazwares Vaults pickup. We've got Death Triangle and Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson. I mess. I'll never get that completely right. The names changing between AEW and WWE has messed with me. Anyway, that is it for today. If you stayed to the end, thank you very much. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.